Well, good evening and welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm Dave,
Hey, I'm Leanne. It's great to see you here this
and we're coming
evening.
straight live from our home in Coventry. And this is an opportunity for us to get to know the stories of the faces behind the people, or the people behind the faces of Life Community Church. And tonight is our great pleasure to introduce to you to a fairly new family to the church, but an incredible family, Peter and Marinda Stefanis. So I wonder if you'd say
Wonderful.
hello, Peter and Marinda.
Everyone, hello, how are you?
It's great to have you with us this evening, Peter and Marinda. Have you put up your Christmas tree yet, guys?
Yes, we did. We did. We did it on Saturday. So yes.
Fantastic. That's amazing. That's quite early then, isn't it? We all seem to be a bit early this year, don't we?
Definitely.
Exactly.
Definitely earlier. Usually we put it up end of first week of December. But yeah, but we were excited. We just felt it's time.
Fantastic. Brilliant. And this is your first Christmas in the UK, are we're right in saying?
Yes.
Um, because UK is not the place where you were born. So yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about your journey, where you're from, and what's brought you to the UK? Which, by the way, we're super happy that you are now in the
Absolutely.
UK. This is a good thing. For sure. So, yeah, just tell us a bit about your journey. We're excited to know.
Thanks, Leanne. My name's Peter. I was born in Zambia of Greek extraction. Grew up in Cape Town in South Africa. Um, Traveled lots of different places, but got married, lived for a while in Canada, came back. God sent me back to Richards Bay to meet Marinda, and that's where we met. It's a really small town in the hot, warm part, really warm part of South Africa, and then we moved to Johannesburg and lived there for about 20 years. So yeah, so that's the in a nutshell for me, and over to Marinda.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so I was born in South Africa, um, in Natal, and also lived there all my life, but traveled quite a lot as I finished school for various reasons. So yeah, so then we got married in 1999, and three children later, very happy with them, blessed. We got three kids, and it's Isabella, who's 9, and Nicholas is 14, and Nathan is 17. So,
Excellent.
yeah. So we moved to the UK a year ago now, 29th of December. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Amazing. And
this is
what?
gonna this will
Go.
be our first cold winter, because what we
Christmas.
cold Christmas at least,
Mm.
because we're used to a summer Christmas where, I mean, you're in shorts and you're at the beach and things like that, as opposed to bundled up. And don't know if you know, but you can be that, right?
Yeah.
So it is a
Yeah.
different thing, and it's good.
It's
It's good. It's
exciting for
exciting.
us to have a cold Christmas. We've never, we've experienced that on a holiday in the States, but not as a family. So
Wow.
that will be very special.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
Find
Wow.
many UK residents saying we're excited for a cold Christmas. So although we always hope for a white Christmas, and I think I've known probably a handful of them in my
Yeah,
lifetime. But yeah, but so good to have you with us. And if you just tuned
definitely.
in, we've got excited to have for our Thursday night live today, Peter and Marinda with us, who are fairly new to the UK, come from South Africa, and they'll be sharing a bit of their story with us tonight. So if you've got a question for
Amazing.
them they'd like to know, then drop it in the chat
Yeah, that'd
in
be
Facebook or
great.
YouTube, and we'd love to maybe ask them your question if you've got a question tonight. So brilliant. So a
Great.
year in the UK.
Wow.
So maybe a bit of background about maybe what you do for a living.
Um, I work for Cummins. It's an engine manufacturer, and I lead the planning function for aftermarket and distribution in EMEA. And so that's kind of takes up all of my days, the normal Monday to Friday. And Marinda?
I'm a founder of an NPO in South Africa. So I'm the executive director. So I'm still managing it remotely from England at the moment.
Fantastic. And with 3 children and a home, your plate is definitely full for both of you, isn't it? Absolutely.
I must say, the family comes first. My husband and children are always first. So.
Wow.
Brilliant.
And what do you guys do, either individually or as a family? If you want to relax, unwind, chill out a bit, what do you do? What hobbies, interests?
We love eating.
Oh, yes.
So do we, don't we, Dave?
We do.
We'll bake scones and we'll just have social time around some scones.
Wow.
Always around a table having meals. We love those conversations and spending time.
Yeah.
And
I go mountain biking around here in
Cool.
area, which is actually a restoration for me because having lived in Johannesburg, it's very much built up and not always that safe to go mountain biking and things like that. So for me, it's been good to get out there and enjoy the nature and that part as well. It's good.
Fantastic. That's
And
so good.
do you join in, Marinda?
not on the mountain bike.
No.
I officially decided I could possibly be ready for one soon, but I'm still walking.
Okay. And
Sounds good.
We have done the Arga cycle tour together many
okay.
years ago, which is a 109-kilometer on the road cycle race. It's one of the biggest timed events in the world, and that's around Cape Town. So basically, it's a circuit around Cape Town, which is awesome. It's a lot of fun, but also a lot of hard work for training and things like that. But
wow.
we completed that together.
Yeah. So
Wow. Amazing.
That's so good. And how long did it take you to get ready? You said a lot of training, Peter. How long did it take you to prepare for that race?
Nathan was like a year and a half old, so we had to find someone to look after him while we were on the bikes. That was not that easy, but I think it probably was 3 months, 2 months, 2.5 months. So,
Amazing. Wow.
And also through previous conversations, I know that you're all great fans of chocolate.
Oh, chocolate.
So what's your favourite chocolate that you ever tried?
Good question.
Belgium
chocolate.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I have to agree with you there, Marinda.
In particular, Neuhaus. Neuhaus chocolate. For work, I used to travel a lot into Belgium, and I think at one point I brought home 3 kilos of Belgian chocolate.
Wow.
Because it would have been a long time before we would go back to get us again, so we had to get a lot.
Amazing. If ever, you're passing through Belgium again, Peter, you just find yourself stumbling through Belgium, I'm sure just let the entire LCC family know,
Get the orders in.
You would have many true best friends for a very long time. Let us know on the chat there if you listen and you like chocolate, Belgian chocolate as well.
Wow. So just, so you've been in the UK about a year now, haven't you? And obviously you came, about a year ago, we were watching on our TV screens about this unknown virus breaking out in China, and remember it thinking that's so far away. And then suddenly we find it's coming over to the UK and around the world. So obviously you came to UK and suddenly the virus breaks out. So how's it been for you since coming to the UK and then being in the middle of a pandemic? How have you been finding it?
It's been challenging, I think, but it's also given us time to settle and in a way, even though for a lot of people it's been a reset, it's also for us a time to get a little bit more settled with surroundings, the environment, and getting to know people, and it kind of eases us into that whole lifestyle. Something that was we felt a real urging at the end of last year to get here for December,
right?
And we were thinking, God was urging us, but in our own mind we were thinking, no, the kids have to start the term, right? The January term. So we need to be there on time for that to start. So we pushed them to get everything, and that came through. But in the end, I mean, the kids didn't finish a single term, right? It was shut down before the end of that term, in March. But if we were to have travelled later, because that was another option, it would have been a mess, actually.
So it would have been God's so difficult. God's timing was amazing, and it happened quick. Since September last year, when Peter heard the news, the opportunity, praying, and it's like, yes. And then just the one thing after the other, how there was favor with selling our house and everything. There was lots of favor. So we just really felt at peace, even though it wasn't the ideal situation to settle into a new country. We had peace. We knew we needed to be here.
And it also was a time, I think, because we were forced to be at home and a lot more around, we found new ways of bringing us together as a family. So quite early on, we had this choose a country and pick a meal from that country, and then each of the kids and ourselves as well. So we've done 2 or 3 rounds of that, and it's kind of we working in the kitchen together, and
brilliant.
So it's helped. Those kind of things has helped family life.
And then
I don't think we would have had it otherwise.
Also help us to discuss the different countries, and praying for the countries. So that was really good.
That's brilliant. That's amazing. Great. And I remember, Marinda, you mentioning this a few months ago and saying, maybe we should bring out a family cookbook of all the recipes that we've done. I would really be up for receiving that cookbook. So so let us know if you feel any more inspiration. We spend so much time in the kitchen, I guess, don't we, every single day of the week. So I absolutely love what you're saying about making that time count while you're in the kitchen and having to prepare, making it extra valuable, I guess, isn't it? I love that. That's great.
Kevin from the church says in the chat that we do. I think he's commenting on chocolate.
He was.
That they love chocolate.
Kevin and Angeline. There you go. Kevin, you know what to get Angeline for Christmas now if you were stuck for ideas, Kevin.
Wonderful. So, hey, so your journey to the UK, you were following what you were sensing, God telling you to come to the UK and the timing of that. So sometimes we do things, hey, which we don't plan to do, and hey, if you knew that a pandemic was coming, naturally would have thought, don't go now. But God's ways aren't always our ways. So obviously you've spoken about God and God leading you in coming to the UK. So tell us a bit about your story of how you came to faith.
I was 9 years old, and it was I was in a traditional church. My parents always went to church. Grew up in a home knowing Jesus, but I think it wasn't. I know it definitely wasn't a real relationship type of life with Jesus, being in that environment. So, but I always wanted more. I always wanted more. I knew there was more. So, just when I was much older, I left that church and I started searching. I went to other churches, and I realized it was the the flow in the Spirit, Holy Spirit, and just having a relationship with Jesus and talking to Him and all those things that I missed. So from there on, my relationship got deeper. But I think, especially when Peter and I got married, things kind of just grew very much, even more. When we were married, looking for a new church and things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, and for me, I gave my heart to Jesus when I was a young teenager, or coming out of a Greek Orthodox upbringing, which you don't really have a relationship kind of thing, or in my opinion anyway, feels like that. And then kind of wandering away a little bit, but then coming back and getting into deeper relationships when we did get married, and more from a spiritual perspective, growing in that. So
and you also had you gave your heart to Jesus at youth.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Yes. Yeah. When I was a teenager.
A good wife always jumps in and corrects.
I get it all the time.
Same youth group at that church, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant. That's amazing. It's so good. And how do you now, just like on a daily basis, Peter and Marinda, how do you follow God's leading? How do you maybe recognise if God is maybe prompting you to do something or make a certain decision? Like, for anyone now that's listening, maybe how can they learn to sort of recognise God's voice?
I just want to say everybody can hear God's voice. So nobody can say, I don't hear Him. He's speaking to us all the time. And I believe in a spirit-led life. So for me, it's a natural thing to stand still. Well, I just carry on, and I'll say, Jesus, what are you saying about this? Holy Spirit, what are you saying here? Why? And He'll just drop a thought or a picture or a reminder or something in my mind, and I'll know it's Him. And it happens all the time.
Brilliant.
And yeah, so and other times while I'm praying, I love spending time with Jesus, because I feel how everything flow from that point out. And so yeah, just he'll speak to a person. You can have conversations with Jesus. I have conversations with Him where I'm asking questions, because like the prophets in the Old Testament, you'll find I can't remember the exact guy's name, but he was asking questions. God gave him visions, and he was asking questions all the time, and that just made me realize, but I can just keep on asking God, and He's always going to give me an answer. It might not always be the answer that I want, or the answer the way I think He's going to answer me, but He always answers me. And so I just ask Him questions, and He just talks. And sometimes He gives dreams at night, which is a big responsibility, because you need to write them down, and you need to ask Him.
Tell me more,
Jesus.
Brilliant.
What are you saying? Yeah. So it's an ongoing relationship all the time.
Fantastic. That's so good.
Yeah, and I think also the sometimes there's thoughts that drop into your mind, and you say, where did that thought come from? And if you know that it's a good thing, then it's most likely from God, or you need to know that it is from God, Jesus, right? So if it means, hey, I'm thinking of Dave today, maybe I should, then why? Well, I don't know, but maybe then I should call Dave, right, and see how he's doing, or message him, or whatever the case might be. So don't ignore those, what some people would say, they're little voices. It's if it's positive and good stuff, then most likely from God and from Jesus.
Brilliant. That's really, really good and just really helpful. And it's a great thought, isn't it? You know, what you both say there, that God is constantly wanting to talk to us. He's constantly talking. I guess the question is whether we are listening. That really is more the question, not is God talking, it's like, well, is Leanne actually listening? Brilliant. That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Wow. And do you find that you both sort of hear God's voice in different ways at times?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there are so many dimensions to God. He doesn't do things the same way always.
For every person.
And for every person, it's definitely he'll speak to you in a way that you can relate to. Like when Peter was an engineer, he's trained to be an engineer. So Peter would get pictures of engineering stuff, and God would speak to him through that. And his spirit would catch that because he could understand that. God speaks in different ways. He'll speak to me through gardens and roses and birds and nature, you know. So he'll speak to you in a way that you can relate to.
Yeah.
And he's a gentleman.
Yeah, always.
I think the thing that just popped into my heart was just to say to everyone and to all of us is we are all unique. God has made us all unique, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle that's a unique shape, and it fits in the fabric of the church and in society in its own way. No one else can fit there, and you can't fit in someone else's space. You'll try, but you know, when you get those little corners of the jigsaw puzzle that get all tangled up, it looks like that. Rather go for the place that you need to be in, and then there's blessing, and it's easy.
Brilliant. That's so good, and that's so helpful as well, isn't it, Peter? Because that releases us of comparisons, thinking maybe I should be like him or her. It's more like, well, God, show me who you've made me to be, and show me, you know, the shape, and the wiring that you've put within me, which is just mind blowing, isn't it? To know that God knows how many hairs on our head, or I've probably got more hair than Dave. I think that's probably true to say.
Since you cut it at the weekend.
Yes, I cut it, Peter. I hope I didn't mess it up too much.
My convict cut.
But it's done now anyway. But yeah, God knows us so uniquely and individually, doesn't he? That the Bible says that even knows the hairs on our head, which is absolutely mind-blowing.
Just want to say, if you just tuned in, we're chatting with Peter and Marinda from Life Community Church, who are fairly new, and they're from South Africa, and we've had the conversation turning into how to hear about God, and we believe that God isn't just a divine being far, far away, but God wants an intimate and personal relationship with every single one of us, and that we can, when we have a relationship with him, like we have a relationship with each other, we can talk to each other, we can listen to each other, and he knows what's best for our lives. He has a plan and purpose for all of us. He can show us step by step how to unpack that plan and to step into all that he has for us. So that's where the conversation's currently at right now. So thank you for tuning in right now. If you have a question for Peter or Marinda or ourselves, then just drop it in the chat and we'll see if we can answer it. If I don't know what to do, I'll ask Peter. I'm sure he can answer it.
Brilliant. So, guys, it's your first Christmas in the UK. So, what do you think you'll be eating for your Christmas dinner on the 25th of December? Because you like food, we like food. We have to ask these sorts of questions, don't we?
We haven't really discussed it or decided. But definitely good desserts.
Oh, yes.
We might bring up we might drag out some recipes from from the old country, as it were, from South Africa, and see what we could do.
Yeah.
And I think you make a malva pudding. It's really good.
Oh yeah, we've got a dessert in South Africa that's called a malva pudding. It's almost like a sticky pudding.
Ooh.
Yeah, very close to the sticky.
So that will definitely, it's a baked, gooey.
Oh, wow.
With custard.
Custard. Oh.
That will be one of the desserts.
One.
Just one of them.
One of many.
First.
And it is more of a wintry type dessert, you know. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm not sure that we'll be able to barbecue or braai, as we call it.
Yeah, we won't braai. It's going to be too cold.
A little
Maybe.
cold. And what is the traditional South African meal on Christmas Day? Like, is there a traditional meal?
Sure.
A lot of people will do barbecue. Some people will do a leg of lamb or something like that, or gammon.
Yes, definitely lamb and gammon and
And normally,
Brilliant.
because it's so hot, a lot of people will make different salads. And a lot of fruit. Usually there will always be watermelon and
Oh,
Correct.
great.
during the day. And yeah, a lot of definitely Christmas mince pies,
Oh, wow.
Christmas pudding. I don't know if you
Yeah,
get it.
we
Yes,
have that. You like
yes,
that,
I
don't
love it,
you?
yes.
With custard or creamer.
Yes. Wow.
Uh,
Well, and of course, you know, if you're missing home, you can always do a barbecue outside, Peter. In your shorts and t-shirts.
lots.
No.
I don't think he's bought that idea. Of
No, I don't
holidays.
think so.
I think that
I don't
was
think so.
not a winning.
Hey guys, we're going to be closing shortly. Hey, do you have any advice? Anyone that's watching, and let's say they're not yet, wouldn't call themselves a Christian. They don't know what they think about God, Jesus. They might see Christianity is on the shelf with all the other religions. You know, have you got any advice that you would offer someone that might be watching tonight?
Jesus is real. He's alive. That is just something. He's alive.
He speaks to us.
He speaks to us.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and I think if you look at other religions, that's not that you can't really say that.
Yeah. Really good. Really, really good.
And he's very, 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 very interested in the best for us. He's a good God, always a good God,
Yeah.
and even though we might see hard times or calamities or things like a pandemic, we always need to look for, well, what's the good that's going to come out of it? I mean, so I think there's the thread of the goodness of God, right? I mean,
His goodness is never ending.
yeah,
And he wants to know us. He wants us to know him. He loves us. His love is a never-ending love for each and every one of us. He knows us intricately without us even wanting to know him. And he will pursue a person till the very end.
but in a gentlemanly way,
In a loving,
and
Father way, a good way. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's absolutely brilliant. That's good advice, isn't it, Dave?
That definitely is. Definitely
really,
is.
really good advice.
And gosh, if I wasn't a Christian and I just didn't know what was ahead of me, but there might be a God out there that does want the best for me, I'd want to reach out to him. I'd encourage you, reach out to him. Reach out to him as Peter and Marinda have in their life. They found a God that loves them, and they and talks to them and wants the best for their lives and their families. So we can all reach out to God too. Peter and Marinda, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and just for sharing just a little bit of your stories of what God has been doing and what's brought you to the UK. And we just want to say we love having you part of the church. We really do. You just throwing yourselves in. Peter
Yes.
on the sound desk, and then small group leaders doing a fantastic job there. So thank you for all that you're doing. Just we have in the church family. It's brilliant. It's such a short time as well. It's amazing. And we just want to.
Thank
leading
you
us well. Yeah.
Thank you to you and Leanne, Dave. We just really appreciate it. We've always felt just safe and welcomed and accepted at LCC. So thank you.
Wonderful.
And really, you guys are amazing.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Our pleasure,
Absolutely, yeah.
Our pleasure.
And we just want to just say in closing, really, just a few announcements. So it's Christmas, and you can probably see behind me the pink Christmas tree.
Yes,
that's been taken from the girls' room. It's not my pink Christmas tree. It's definitely a girl Christmas tree.
Yeah, I've got my Christmas jumper. Where's yours, Dave?
Next
week. Next week, everybody. Next Thursday.
I have got my my little Father Christmas there with his very skinny legs. Look. So that's my little bit for Christmas so far.
So carol service.
So, carol service on the 13th of December. That's a week on Sunday.
A week away.
And for Life Community Church, it's normally such a big occasion. And this year, I know some of you are going to go, but we're not meeting in person, but it is still happening here.
Yes.
5 o'clock,
that's right.
5 to about 6ish, 13th of December. And we're going to go live. It will be our YouTube, our Facebook channel, and our website. And also, we have a special Christmas pack for anyone in the local area. Sort of Coventry, Warwick, Leamington. And we'd love to give you a free of charge Christmas pack. All we ask is that you just sign up for that. And and it's available for your collection. And those that might have difficulties, let us know. We'll see if we can get it to you by delivery. But basically, it's going to be open for collection. All the details on our Christmas part of our website, which is www.life-cct.org/Christmas. And there you can log in, you can book your pack for your household, and there's an item in that pack that especially you'll need as part of our celebration of our carols at Christmas are happening on the 13th of December, and we're really excited. We've got a special guest, Pastor Roy Todd from the Junction Church, doing a phenomenal work there, and he's going to be speaking for us as well. That's been so good, with lots of favourite carols and items from the kids. We're really good Christmassy. If you're not feeling Christmassy yet, you will do after the 13th, so join us for that. What else is going on, Leanne?
Sunday the 20th, we're going to be having a lovely service online where we're actually going to be making a Christingle together. So if you've never made a Christingle or you don't know the significance, what it actually means, it's absolutely beautiful. We'll be sending you more details of what you need to get for that. But it is lovely. I made probably my first one last year. And just when I looked about what it actually meant and how it, I'm not going to tell you anything else because I'm going to spoil the surprise. But anyway, that's the 20th of December, so that's going to be absolutely lovely, isn't it?
Yep, so you'll be receiving an email tonight, and it'll be on the social media too in the coming days of what you need to make that Christingle. And it's great for the kids, but also for the big kids too. And as we're creating it, you just think about all the symbolism of what it means, and what it means about Christmas, Jesus coming at Christmas time in that first Advent season. So that's 20th, and then just to say tonight is the last time if you want to donate to our Christmas shoebox appeal in partnership with Helping Hands in Leamington Spa. So basically we're just helping them to create shoeboxes and to distribute. Then you can donate financially tonight. You can drop them off at the at the church centre say Sunday, and then we'll distribute them to them early next week, and that'd be so good. I'm not going to tell you the count so far, but it's really good. It's really good.
And we've had some beautiful shoe boxes, haven't we?
We have
just absolutely
a lot of TLC
done with so much love. We're looking forward to that final count, aren't we?
We are. We'll announce that on Sunday. Definitely.
Really good.
And our Christmas quiz. So we've extended the deadline, but we're so looking forward to a Christmas quiz on this Sunday, 7:30 in the evening. If you haven't booked in, do it by tomorrow. Send an email to info@life-cc.org or message us on our Facebook page, and we'll have to put you in. Don't worry, it'll be a team game, so you won't be put on the spot. You'll be conferring going as a team, and then someone will give all the answers on the team's behalf. And there'll be different rounds. We're not organising it, so we're just playing, aren't we? We're just
It's going to be brilliant.
So good. So make some new friends. If you're not a part of the church, you're welcome. Come and join us. It will be on Zoom, and we'll give you the link via email once you've booked in. So that'll be so good. So
we've got lots going on.
Lots going on,
haven't we?
It's a
Lots
busy
going
time.
on. Although we can't be together this year in person, we've still got lots going on that we'd love you to be a part of.
Absolutely.
So I think that is us for Thursday Night Live
Yes.
tonight,
Yes.
isn't it? So a big thank you again to Peter and Marinda. It's been absolutely brilliant getting to know you both more, and we'll be back here next Thursday same time at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll see you all very soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.